I never thought my marriage would come crashing down in such a cold, degrading way. For years, I truly believed what we had was unbreakable. We had built a life side by side, a house we made into a home, a son we both cherished, and endless plans for the years ahead. But looking back now, I realized the fractures had been appearing long before everything finally fell apart. It began subtly late nights at the office she claimed were tied to meetings, and I wanted to trust her. Then came the frequent weekend business trips almost every other week, always raising small doubts but never enough for me to openly challenge her. Soon she started stepping outside to answer calls, whispering into phone, deliberately angling her face away from me as if hiding her expression. Whenever I asked if something was wrong, if there was something she wasn't telling me, she would lash out defensively, accusing me of being paranoid. A part of me wanted to believe her excuses. I kept telling myself she was simply overwhelmed at work, that maybe I was imagining things, but deep down that heavy cayenne of unease never went away. One Friday night, she rushed out saying she had a dinner with clients, and in her hurry, she forgot to switch off her location sharing. I tried resisting the urge to check, but eventually curiosity or maybe dread took over when I opened the app and saw her pinned at a hotel across town. My chest tightened, my pulse hammering so hard it stole my breath. I sat frozen for nearly 20 minutes, trying to invent scenarios where this could mean something innocent. But deep down, I already knew, unable to fight the need for answers. I drove there the entire way. I rehearsed excuses in my head, clinging some fragile hope that this wasn't what it looked like. Yet a quiet, undeniable part of me already understood the truth. My hands trembled as I knocked on the hotel room door, feeling as though I was stepping off a cliff. When it opened, a man I vaguely recognized stood there. He wore a shirt I remembered because she had once bought it for a colleague's birthday. His eyes met mine, his expression flat and almost bored, and he said in a steady voice, "She's with me now." Then she appeared behind him, not even bothering to look ashamed. Her face was empty, cold, dismissive, and something inside me shattered. In that moment, I didn't scream, beg, or demand answers. I simply turned away, fully aware that whatever we once had was gone forever. The days that followed were a haze of sleepless nights and an ache I couldn't put into words. But slowly, shock gave way to resolve. I began gathering proof. Credit card records, deleted text messages, even old emails. I made copies of everything like I was preparing weapons for battle. Once I had enough, I hired a seasoned divorce lawyer, one who specialized in cases like mine. Together, we filed on grounds of adultery. Weeks later, we all sat down for settlement talks. She arrived with him, walking in as though they had already won, as if they were collecting a prize. He sat across from me, wearing the same smug look from that night at the hotel, like he expected me to crumble. But then something shifted. Her lawyer entered with polished confidence. Crisp suit, calm demeanor, the look of a man who had walked into a 100 negotiations expecting victory. But when his eyes met mine, I saw the color drain from his face. His posture stiffened, his jaw locked, and in that small break of composure, I knew I had the upper hand before we had even spoken. He remembered me years earlier. I'd been part of an internal investigation that exposed a massive fraud scheme, one that nearly destroyed an entire company. He had been a junior counsel back then, just starting out, and the fallout had nearly ended his career before it began. My role in uncovering the truth had left a mark he clearly hadn't forgotten. Seeing me there reminded him that I wasn't someone who could be intimidated or silenced. From that moment, the tone of the meeting completely changed. Their aggression vanished, replaced with offers of quick resolutions and quiet settlements. But I wasn't there for a quiet end. My lawyer and I held firm. Every time they pushed for a compromise, we stood our ground. This wasn't about money or property anymore. It was about principle, my son's well-being, and reclaiming my dignity. When the judgment was finally handed down, it felt like coming up for air after years underwater. I was granted full custody of my son. The court recognizing what I had known all along, that while she was lost in her affair, he had been neglected. I kept the house too, ensuring my son still had a safe, familiar place to grow up. The weight I've been carrying for so long began to lift. Not long after the divorce, I heard she moved in with the man she had chosen. But their relationship didn't last. Soon enough, word reached me that he was cheating on her too. She was forced to taste the same betrayal she had once served me. It was strange hearing it. Me felt vindicated. Another part simply exhausted. Even now, some nights when the house is still and my son is asleep, my mind drifts back to that hotel hallway. I can still feel the pounding in my chest, the bitter taste of dread as I realize our life together was already over. I can still see her eyes, not guilty, not sorrowful, but detached, as if I had already become a stranger. For a long time, that memory haunted me, looping endlessly like a cruel film reel. But with time, its grip loosened. Now, when I think of that night, I don't just see the end. I see the turning point. The moment denial was ripped away and I was forced to face reality. That night wasn't only the death of my marriage. It was the birth of a stronger version of myself. I may never fully understand why she chose to throw everything away. The life, the family, the vows. But I've stopped tormenting myself with questions that will never be answered. What matters is that I survived. More than that, I came out stronger. I walked through that storm with my son beside me, my head held high, and vowed to never let anyone strip me of my power again. Looking back, I see how everything, the investigation, the betrayal, the courtroom battles shaped me into someone far more resilient than I ever imagined. And whatever lies ahead, I know now I have the strength to face.